Margaret directly. She'd learned about her niece Jessica's wedding through the sterile email from Sarah's assistant, but through a series of photos, her neighbor Linda texted her of the cream-colored envelope that had mistakenly been delivered to her mailbox instead. "Thought you should see this," Linda's text read. "Wasn't sure if you'd received yours." Margaret stared at the photos. The elegant calligraphy, the RSVP card, the dinner choice options. Her 3 children were listed as part of the wedding party: David as a groomsman, Sarah as a bridesmaid, Michael as an usher. The wedding would be held at the same church where Margaret had married John 48 years ago. She was not listed anywhere. Her hands didn't shake as she set her phone down. That surprised her. 6 months ago, this would have sent her into a spiral of tears and self-recrimination. But something had changed in the weeks since she'd started attending Carmen's recommended support group. The group met in a sunlit room at the community center every Thursday. 12 chairs arranged in a circle, occupied by parents who understood what it meant to be erased by their own children. There was Tom, whose daughter had cut contact after he'd remarried. Eleanor, whose sons had taken control of her finances and gradually stripped away her independence. Robert, whose children had sold his house out from under him, claiming it was for his own good. They called themselves the Forgotten Ones, with a mix of gallows humor and defiance. "You know what the hardest part is?" Eleanor had said during Margaret's first meeting. "Everyone assumes you must have done something terrible, must have been abusive or negligent or cruel. Nobody wants to believe that sometimes children just stop loving their parents. It doesn't fit their worldview." Margaret had found her voice in that room. Week by week, story by story, she'd begun to understand that her experience wasn't unique, and that understanding had somehow made it both more bearable and more infuriating. Now, looking at the wedding invitation photos, she made a decision. She opened her laptop, a skill she'd recently mastered with help from the community center's tech classes, and began to write, "Dear Jessica, your wedding invitation was mistakenly delivered to my neighbor's house. While I understand I'm not invited, I wanted to send you my congratulations and share something with you about the church where you'll be taking your vows." She worked on the letter for hours, weaving in memories of her own wedding day, of Jessica as a flower girl at Sarah's wedding, of family traditions and shared history. Not pleading, not accusatory, just truth, offered like a gift that could be accepted or refused. When she finished,